Welcome back to Blossom Hill Microgreens. In today's video, we're going to go over the second installment of the single seed challenge where we're going giant pumpkins this year, and also address another question about space in your garden. One of the best ways that you can improve your harvest is by considering vertical growing. Stay tuned. Alright, so today what we're going to go over is a trellis that I've created for my pumpkins this year. It was an idea that I thought of simply because pumpkins do tend to sprawl out considerably and need a lot of space. And here in an urban city, just space is not hard to, it's not easy to come by. Sometimes I'll be watching videos and they can pan left and it's wilderness forever, and they pan right and it's wilderness forever again. And when you're in the inner city, I can see houses all over me, and so it's really important to use every square foot to the best that you can. And so one of the things I did is I went to a big box store and could have used wood, could have used a lot of different there's a lot of different options that you can choose from. We decided to make something out of just PVC pipe, real simple. You can get a 10-foot piece of this is 3/4 inch. That's for about $2.50, and so and that's for a 10-foot piece. So you can cut it to your desire. You can also get them by a certain length. But it's one of those things where, if you're going to spend $2 for about a 2-foot piece, or if you can spend $2.50 and get a 10-foot piece and cut it yourself, obviously you save a lot of money. You can get this handy little pipe tool here that's super nice because you can get them by size, but this is just one is for up to 1.5 inches, and you just tighten it, and you can, if you make a mark on it, you can make a mark, and then you just cut over the mark, and you can use the blade, and it is really pretty simple, straightforward. It creates a nice clean cut, and now you've got for whatever sizes that you need. They also come, well, they don't come, but you buy these, you can buy them in T's or in elbows or in other configurations to make the design that you want. And these are, you actually will spend, these are going to be like 50 cents to $1 each. You can get them in like packs of like 10 or 20 where you're getting them basically for like half price. So like we did that with the teas, where you can get a 20 pack of teas for $7 or something like that. And so this whole setup, as far as the materials, we had, I counted, these are about 30 different 2-foot pieces. So we were able to use it with about 6 of the 10-foot pieces. So it's really like $20 for the materials, and then this tool here was another $15. But obviously you can use that in all sorts of other uses too. So it's more like, I look at it more like a capital cost instead of like a project cost. But what we did is we just connected them together. We used a little bit of rubber cement to just make the seal that much stronger, and it really is pretty sturdy. And and then the netting is just to help keep the pumpkins, to train them to go up and then of course go over. So firstly, as far as the single seed challenge, I wanted to show that, because it's only been a couple of weeks, but we do have a nice healthy giant pumpkin on the way. This one I'm going to have separate because I just want to help it to be able to sprawl around on its own more. And being that I'm expecting a 300, 400, 500-pound pumpkin out of this, I'm not sure that as nice as this is, that it's set up to handle a 500-pound pumpkin. So I do have some sugar pie pumpkins. These are 5 sugar pies that have already sprouted, and you can kind of see here in the pods. And so I'm going to plant these, and basically at roughly about 1 foot apart to set them up. And so that is what we're going to do today. The soil is already pretty amended, so I'm not going to put much into it other than a little bit of perlite and some some root zone sort of starter to help it get a good root zone established. And now one thing that is important is if you are having them, go up a trellis, you want to make sure that it's relatively close to the trellis, so that way you don't have a lot of work for the plant once it gets up to, once it gets up to a decent height, around a foot or so. In other words, it's going to naturally go up towards the sun, so you don't want it to necessarily have to go too far out of its way. So when I was looking for pumpkins to grow, in addition to the giant competition size ones that that I'm growing for the challenge specifically, I also went for the sugar pie ones, the sugar pie variety, because they are well known for their great flavor for making pies. So definitely, in addition to the challenge of making a giant pumpkin to use for pumpkins, as far as for Halloween and cutting, I definitely want to end this part out with having a nice pumpkin recipe to make some delicious pumpkin pies. Now trellises are great on lots of different types of fruits and vegetables. For example, tomatoes, also any kind of vining plant that really likes to spread out. Lots of different types of berries will appreciate them too. And so it's definitely something to consider when you're dealing with a limited amount of space or plants that naturally like help anyway. While we were finishing up, I just happened to notice off into the horizon there's crazy bright rainbow, which was pretty nice because it wasn't even raining. And before I let you go, one final tip. One nice thing when you do it yourself, you always end up with some bonus supplies. That's a hammer. You know how to use it? Yeah. Well, show me. How do you use it? You like it? Yeah. All right. Hey, wait. Say bye-bye. Bye. If you have experience, or if you're using a trellis in any of your gardens, I'd love to hear what you're using them for, and post that in the comments. So hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to move my big pumpkin here. I'll be going into more of a permanent spot, a larger pot, where I'm going to try and just grow it out there and see how big it'll go. And I look forward to showing you, all right? So take care, have a great day, and we'll see you soon.